welcome back to our homestead. My garden, we try to be as organic as possible, and that means we don't use any herbicide or pesticides on our vegetables. And that means that every bug possible gonna go and eat all of my cruciferous vegetables. So every year I make this homemade remedy to spray against bugs, caterpillars that devour my greens, my cabbages, my kales. So this particular year, I've decided to try something different. And if you have seen my video where I started my cruciferous vegetables from seeds, I mentioned that my husband and I are gonna do something a little bit different this year about how we're gonna try to grow them and protect them from caterpillars. Well, it starts really from those white, pretty moths that hover around your garden. So we've decided to use netting. So the first step is for us, we measured everything out and we've decided that we're going to be using certain materials to create these hoops. So babe, do you want to tell us what kind of materials we have?
All right, we have half-inch. We're using half-inch electrical conduit, and the reason why is because the electrical conduit's thicker than the water piping and it's very flexible. That's why we're using that.
We could have gone with thinner material, right?
We could have gone with a half-inch water piping, but this is stronger. It's a little bit more money, but it's definitely more gets more strength and more flexibility than the water pipe.
So, and also if we want to extend our growing garden season, I should say, in the fall, and throw a heavy duty plastic covering, we wanted something a little bit more durable so it will have a longer life. So if we used a thinner material, they would not be able to withstand plastic. So that's why we're going with a little bit heavy duty. So how do you actually installing them? What do you use, babe?
Well, we're using 1-inch EMT electrical piping that we've cut to 1.5 sections. Some people use rebar to go through, but depending on the rebar size, sometimes it won't fit through the half-inch piping, the half-inch conduit. So this is why we're going with the 1-inch EMT electrical piping.
So that fits beautifully?
Fits beautifully.
Nice. Okay.
It won't fit the other side, but we cut that side off.
All right.
Because of the short runs, we need a really tight pull on the arc of the EMT of the electrical conduit. So that's why we're using this.
All right. How far apart are we making our putting our hoops?
We're going about 3.5 to 4 feet apart, and then we will eventually probably run another piece in between them and zip tie it for more strength.
Oh, you mean like on top of the hoops?
Below.
Or below the hoops?
Below the hoops, like this.
Okay.
Underneath.
And again, this is not necessarily for the netting in the summer. It's more for when we're gonna use it later in the season. So it will serve a dual purpose.
Plus it won't sag down.
And it will not sag if it's raining heavy rain. So what are we measuring here?
We're cutting them all to 91 inches.
About 91 inches, okay. What kind of a tool is that? That's so cool.
This is a PVC pipe cutter. It's a beautiful investment, the best tool you'll buy.
Look at that, I love it. So it goes pretty deep into the soil, those pipes, and then it's going to be secure even on the wind, and my netting is not going to become a parachute and start flying away in the wind. So that's why I like using a little bit more sturdier equipment and material than just something light. So how far apart are those pipes?
36 inches.
36 inches apart, okay. So it's going to be for one of the beds, and I'm going to be using this this particular one for growing cabbage. Those white moths love to lay their larvae on their eggs on my cabbage, and then the caterpillars just love to devour it. All right, so we're making the second hoop row. It's going to be identical to this one, with a walkway about, I want to say what, 2.5, maybe 3 feet wide, 2 feet wide, because it's important that I'm able to walk in between and I'm able to secure netting on both sides. And I'll show you in the end how to do it, you know, low budget. Anyway, so the metal posts already cut to size and they're already in the ground, okay? They're all in the ground, being pounded in the ground. And now we cut these pieces again, and what is this called, babe?
Plastic, it's a conduit, electrical conduit.
So it's a plastic electric conduit. I know it's a little bit more money. We could have gone with a little cheaper product. I know that. But I think that since I want to extend for fall gardening, I'd rather go with a little bit heavier duty. So I'm bending and I'm pushing that in. And I think I need your help, babe. Oh, no, it's going in. All right, so it's in. So we're gonna continue with the rest of them. And now we're gonna be attaching the top piece for extra support. So when the netting is hanging over, I don't want it to sag in case of rain or something like that. So we're adding a top piece. And because we cut this electrical conduit to the size we want, we have all these extra pieces. And guess what? It's very convenient for me to put them together now into one long one. Let me see, this one over here, like a puzzle. One end fits the other. So I'm gonna make one long one, okay? And we're gonna turn it into the top support piece. And we're gonna attach everything with zip ties. And you know, zip ties, they're so essential in a homestead. We're just tighten into the top hoop and the last one, and everything's gonna be secure. And we'll just trim the edge because the edge is a little bit too long. We don't need it. All right, tighten everything up. Beautiful. All right, so 2 hoop rows are ready, and now I'm gonna be planting my kale, my cabbages into here. But first I need to bring in some compost because everything likes to grow in good soil. Friends, on this note, I hope you are encouraged to grow food for your family. I'm gonna challenge you to grow food for your family for 1 year. I know it sounds like a tall order, but it's possible, and that's what our plan is for the season. So friends, be encouraged and try something new.